picture on the board, and then we look at it, study it for a minute, and then our teacher asked us what we noticed about it.
So when we VTS, visual thinking strategies, we take a moment to study the image, right? We ask these 3 questions. What's going on in the image? What do you see that makes you say that? And what more can you find?
Personally, I'm a visual learner, so I have tons of visual learners in my classroom. And seeing an image and discussing that is definitely a way to springboard into the next thing.
It's kind of like a game. That's how I think of it. Because that if they tell you what it is, then it's just like, oh, that's boring. But when you're playing a game, it's fun.
It's about your background knowledge, your schema. Like, there's a picture and there might be like smoke off in the distance. So you say that and the teacher says, what makes you say that? And then you have to explain your thinking.
VTS was awesome. It taught you about history. It taught you about a new way of learning. It was just good. It was just really good.
I remember this one where the men were, like, it was just for band, and the men were dressed in top hats and like fancy suits. And one time there were 2 pictures. They were the exact same, but only one was in 3D and one was in 2D. And like we put on these 3-dimensional glasses.
It looks so different.
And it was like we saw things that we didn't see in the one before.
Yeah, we saw like more details.
Naturally, they're curious about art, and for us to spend 10 minutes looking and discussing an image is something that they enjoy. They really do, and they want to tell me what they're thinking. They want everybody to hear their idea. We have our program reviews that are 23% of our accountability now, and one of the program reviews is Arts and Humanities, and it requires us to have cross-curricular, hands-on arts activities.
Like the Native Americans example, they did art, but we learned about how they did art and maybe we can do art. And Kentucky Pastime, they played marble games, and we invented our marble games.
She brought in some objects, and we'd be partners, and we'd have our chairs back to back, and we'd get to rub them and feel them and stuff, and we'd try to guess what they were.
We drew them in our sketchbook that you gave us. We'd have our back facing someone, and they'd tell us what the artifact looked like, and we'd draw it like we think it was.
They've been able to look at maps, they've been able to build towns and cities and things like that.
Like we had to make a capital, and the capital, like you had to protect it by all the houses.
Like out of wool of a sheep, we were shown how to make yarn. We had our own spinners.
And what we did in that old library and history center, we looked at images and put them into different groups. There's this one street next to the old Capitol and the history center, which are right next to each other. There was like all these like old time shops, and there were some pictures of those, and a picture of the old Capitol. Like pictures of that would go in one pile, and other pictures would go in another pile, and then we studied the old maps so we could see where those places were on the old Kentucky maps. These old maps were really, really cool. Even though they were like a little faded, they were still really neat. Because like they had all the different places there from like 1890, I believe. And seeing them in 2014 really shows you that how much of a difference that Kentucky's gone.
So it really exposed them as they're having to look from the text, find some images, sort them, discuss them. That was really good to build knowledge